$5,000. Cash payment to anyone who can prove that what lying son of a devil Farrakhan is preaching is consistent with the lessons, supreme wisdom, of Master Fard Muhammad Elijah Muhammad's representation of his teacher Master Fard's teachings.
Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Sulaiman Rahim here, Messenger of Covenant, breaking 7 seals. Brothers and sisters, I'm going to do a recap of what I've been doing for the last few days. It's very important that you pay close attention. I got a new setup again because the sound was less than what I would like. Hopefully this will be clearer. You need to understand this. It was your intention to survive. You overcame the Holocaust, and that was a momentous task. You know, again, they tell me I shouldn't assume, and I guess I had a bad habit of doing that because I mean, you know, it says, oh, well, you should point this out, point it out. Well, you know, if you want to go to the gym and come out the Hulk, so to speak, right? Do you know how much effort you got to put in, how much you got to go through, how much discipline that takes? I mean, you gonna go through hell to build up like that. It's not gonna be easy. You're not gonna go there 1 hour a day, lift 10 pounds. No, you go in there, man, you're gonna put yourself through extreme, like I said, no pain, no gain. You're gonna say extreme pain. That's why you don't see everybody walking around looking like that. Especially if you're not taking steroids. If you're doing it naturally, and then that's the result. The people can see the result of your discipline if you're not taking steroids, no, you know, whatever. They see, oh, that's the result. Like I said, when you look in the mirror, you see what you created. When you look in the mirror, you see what you created. Not what God created. God didn't create you. Your mother and father made you. That's a mystery. That's some bullshit they telling you. All this stuff, you know, they are saying in the Quran. You don't understand what they mean by that. I'm not going to go into details of that. But when they talk about Allah in that sense, they talk about mathematics. You know, DNA. They didn't know about DNA back there. So they thought, well, hand of God was doing this. No, it's we know now DNA does it. When they look into the microscope and they see that sperm going, they see a God in there anywhere? They see an angel floating around anywhere? They see any hand in there? No, all they see is chemistry. And the only thing that's going to come out is what went in. So if there's a God involved in that process, he could make you, oh, you go in a rap, you come out a bear or something. You want to hold on to that? Hold on to it. That's your business. Before I go further, this $5,000 has been there. That tells you everything you need to know right there. They haven't stuck, I got some nasty grams the other day. Why don't send this? Just get your $5,000. Well, I'm just envious of Farrakhan. Get your $5,000. You have to say that. You couldn't even spell envy right. I-N-V-Y. Ignorant. Call yourself Muhammad something. Dumbass. Anyway, get back to the point. When you look in the mirror, that's your creation. Period. Right? You got your attributes from your mother and your father. But once it comes together and you're outside that womb, the rest is up to you. Now I know you don't know anything, but you know something. You know the cry for milk, don't you? You know the cry for that breastfeeding, don't you? You know for that, right? You know the cry when you messed up, so you know something. You're aware of yourself. You're aware that you're hungry. You're aware that you're cold. At any rate, so you make a decision even then, you're not realizing it. This basic decision based on the information you have. You have limited information, you make decisions based on the information you have. As you get older, the more information you have, the more decisions, the more complicated information you have, the more complex decision. Or put it this way, the more information you have, the more complex decision you can make. But that depends on the information itself, doesn't it? So somebody controlling information, they control your decision, aren't they? Who's controlling information? Okay. Anyway, get back to the Hulk there. So you had to go through, and you see the result. Okay. So I say, you want to be like that, man, you got to go in that gym. You got to go through all that pain. See? And it takes a lot of discipline. And that's the hard cost. That was our gym to godhood. It took extreme discipline to get through that. A lot of us didn't make it. Some of us just jumped overboard, killed ourselves, committed suicide, didn't have the discipline to make it. And they glorify those. No, because they don't understand. Oh man, we should glorify those that killed themselves instead of sending for slavery. How dumb, these dumb folks, they see, if you don't know a goddamn thing, keep your fucking mouth shut. Damn. See, because they saying they don't know how much trouble they cause, and that's why they're going to suffer a severe chastisement. See? It didn't say, it said submit to Adam, it didn't say kill yourself when Adam comes along. Let's make man a likeness and image. If you're dead, you can't be made anything, can you? They're talking and they don't understand. I tell you, this is time of consequence, time of manifestation of all things, and this is the worst time in the universe, in history, to be saying shit you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Because your tongue will rot in your mouth. The Quran tells you every atom which you'll be judged for. So every word that you've spoken, you're going to have to justify it. And there will be no forgiveness. If there was forgiveness, there would be necessary for a judgment, would there? So if we hear this, I'm telling these people out here confusing you, talking, they don't have idea what they're talking about, just run their goddamn mouth. They say it would sound cool. Oh man, we should, this is fool, man, we should celebrate those people that say, I ain't gonna be a slave, I'll kill myself. See how dumb he is? Do you love life, fool? Oh yeah, I love life. What if your grandmother killed herself, fool? You see, the stupid people should keep their goddamn mouth shut. It's easy to take them down. They're saying stuff. And the point is why this is a terrible time to be doing that, because people's lives are being lost that don't deserve to be lost for lack of knowledge. He said, my people, that means these are good people. He said, my people, if God said, you my people, then that means you're good people. You're godly people. And my people, we think if your children are lost because of some shit your neighbor did, how would your reaction be to that? Because your neighbor got to put a dog in there, then tell the children, hey, this is didn't tell them, watch out for that dog. And they got eaten up by the dog. What's your reaction? Man, boy, that was an accident. No, what would your reaction be? What would your reaction be to that? Tell me, what would your action be? Our people, when they come after all they've been through, when they come their own, you think they're going to be in a forgiving mood? I'm not in a forgiving mood. You think they're going to be in a forgiving mood? And you got people preaching, talking shit, you don't know what the hell you're talking about? And people are lost. They lost their mama, they lost their daughter, they lost their cousin, because of your bullshit. And you think they're going to be in a forgiving mood? Okay? You hold on to that thought. But I'm saying, right? That proves that you are God's because you had the discipline. You just didn't have the energy. That showed only you had to be of extreme discipline to endure 400 years of Holocaust. That shows you are the gods because that's what makes godhood discipline. So you reached that level of godhood because you proved it, because you went to the gym and now you come out and you're the Hulk now. And people are going to see it in a minute. They're going to see it in a minute. It says when you go through the Holocaust, it says you'll go through, not the Holocaust, you can do exploits. Look up the word exploits. You're going to be unbeatable. You'll be crushing, stomping your enemies in the ground. There's nothing they can do to you. They're going to recognize you're God. And goddesses. Because you went through the worst gym ever. The Holocaust. And took discipline to do that. No one else could do it but you. So you survived it. And nobody better not fuck with you anymore. I'm telling you, I'm here to say, I'm not here to save you. I'm here to give you information. Save yourself. Now it's up to you to decide what you want to do with it. I cannot save you. Master Muhammad cannot save you. No mystery God, we want to call Jesus, Allah, whatever, can save you. You have to save yourself. That's why I come to give you information. If God was going to save you, why do you need to send somebody a messenger? He just come and grab you up and save you. Why tell them we're going to build an ark? Just lift everybody up. No. No, you got to save yourself. I get information now, you got to save yourself and your family. I'm not going to build an ark for you. You got to build it yourself. I give you the information you need. You got to do the work. I'm giving you the information you need, and you got to do the work to save yourself. Now people didn't take information, they got drowned. The information was there for everybody, not just Noah. Information was there for anybody that want to react to it. Some said, I'm going to go to high mountain. Remember the sun? Well, okay. How did that work out? Information is there. My job is to get information. I cannot save you. I can only save myself. That's if I want to. Like I said, I look in the mirror. I don't like what I see. Right? Because I put a lot of work in. I've done 100%. Right? But I ain't home yet. I can ask myself, did I miss something? Because you know how I feel about this. Master Muhammad, what you waiting for? What you waiting for? And that what Jonah said, what you waiting for? Oh, well, they don't know their right hand from the left yet. Oh, really? Let them figure it out. But I know, I have evidence, the things I know and things I can do, because I put the work in. That's how I invested my energy. How did you invest your energy? You look in the mirror and that's how you invest your energy. So if there's nothing there, that means there was no investment. If you're 500 pounds, you got diabetes, walking around and running around in a wheelchair and stuff. Well, that was your investment. It was no accident. Nobody did something to you. That day is over. That 40 years is over. Oh, we still here. We still. But the point is, that after 40 years, right? Now you can't blame on them anymore. Only thing you can blame them for, right, is for being here, the fact of heaven. But the point is, or put it this way, they still responsible for much of what's going on with us. But that's only if you're not applying. In other words, if you refuse to manage your energy, then you can't blame them for managing it. That's the point. See, at this point, you have enough energy to manage. Now, if you're not managing it, you can't blame them for that. Once you know, let me clear it up. And if you heard Elijah and you didn't respond, then that's on you then. You heard Elijah, he started teaching you how to manage your energy. And you didn't respond, and you got diabetes, and you're 500 pounds, and you heard that information, and you didn't apply it, that's on you. That's on you. Make sure you understand that. I'm not blaming out people. I'm saying once you get the information, then you have to decide what you want to do with it. If you decide not to do anything with it, you look in the mirror, okay, I didn't do that. Okay, now I invest my money in NFL instead of invest my money in learn some mathematics. Okay, I know about NFL, but I can't count shit. Okay, whose fault is that? Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. So I'm gonna go over this as clearly as I can. I'm working hard trying to talk clearly. You know what I'm saying? So I guess I didn't invest enough in my voice, because I'm telling you, it's horrible. It's horrible. You know, I keep, that's one of the things I'm really studied, but it already amazes me. Every time someone comes along, a prophet or messenger, anyone who's raised up, or however they come about, right? They seem to have a deficiency directly related to that's opposed to what they're trying to do. Like Prophet Muhammad can't read or write, but yet still he got to produce literature that's the most exquisite in the Arab world at the time, the Quran. But he could not even read or write himself. He couldn't read it himself, yet he produced it. And then Elijah Muhammad, he could barely talk. And he got to go to war with these beasts. You got third grade education. Here they walking around with science and technology and algebra and math. He went toe-to-toe with them. No education. Here I got to give the most exquisite, clear, perfect message. And I don't even like talking. And I'm not very good at it. And I keep working. I keep saying, what can I do? You can't buy any equipment to change it. Well, I keep working at it. That's why Elijah asked for, I guess at some point to it, because Elijah asked for a spokesman, right? You see how it ended up. He got one. And the God was right. You don't need him. Master Muhammad was opposed to Farrakhan. Opposed to it. You better read it again. He was opposed to Aaron. Elijah insisted. How does that work out? So I'm going to try to go over again, but I want to go over to the point where I want to if I can communicate what we're dealing with. The wisdom. That's the finishing off, like you build a house and then you finish it off, you paint it, and all the stuff, beautiful. Okay, well, you already went to, that's why it says, the messenger coming to purify you. In other words, you was already formed. Now he's got to be like a diamond is formed. Now he's got to clean it off. You're already a diamond. That's done, you've done that. That's the hard part, you've done that. But now we got to make sure that we clean you off, because diamonds and coal are the same material, exactly the same material. It's just the coal, diamonds is a harder state. But if you threw them in the fire, you would not know the difference. If you took a bunch of diamonds and threw them in the fire and didn't know it was diamonds, it burned exactly like coal. You would have no difference. You would think it's coal. And some people may have done that. They may have coal and they didn't realize it was diamonds, and they thought it was all coal, and they may have burned up some diamonds. I'm pretty sure that's probably has happened, because when you pull diamonds out of the ground, it looks like coal, and you got to clean it off. Now I don't know what they do to test to find out. I know if you put extreme pressure on coal, you find out, but it's also you crush the coal, so you might not want to do that. But if you put extreme pressure on coal, right, it exposes diamonds, because the diamonds will not crush. But like I said, so I don't know. I haven't looked at the process how they ever separate. Figure out which separate the diamonds from the coal to figure out which ones work. When they dig out, they got both there. Diamonds. Okay. So you're already diamonds, right? We just got to clean you off, so the world see that you're diamonds. Because when I learn you here with these demons, these devils, you look like coal, and you might get thrown in the furnace accidentally, and nobody will know. Some of you will be. That's why it says my people are lost for lack of knowledge, because some of these clowns, they're bullshit out here, going to have some of you end up in a furnace, burning up, not realizing you're a diamond. Not realizing you're a diamond. Because the information to get to you. So you got burned up with the rest of the coal. It said my people are lost for lack of knowledge. Means some will be lost. And so who? And we got somebody to be held accountable for that. So put it this way: how much is a diamond worth? So that's why I say, when you are killing people, you understand when you kill someone, that's energy. That's energy has a certain form. So you're taking that form away. It takes energy to take that form away. So how much energy, how much form it has, the more form it has, the more it costs to destroy it. So say it's worth $100,000. Well, you destroy it, right? Well, now that's $1,000 energy. You understand? So now you might have $1,000 of bad luck now. I'm just getting the idea how it works. You say, we're going to kill the devils? Yes. Right? But how does that happen? That had become natural crushing. See, that's not murder. Murder is we take something that don't belong to you for someone else. But we're not doing that. See, we just growing. High pressure crushes low pressure. The consequences, what's the consequence of you being high pressure? The low pressure get crushed. There's no consequence to you on that one. That's why I tell you, do not hesitate. Because there's no consequence, because it's not murder. It's not your fault they're low pressure. If the low pressure be crushed, I said that stone will crush anything that it falls on. So anything that's low pressure will be crushed. And I'm trying to get you to turn on that pressure so you not fall in that category. Because right now our people are in a position to be crushed because they have potential power. They just don't apply the discipline that would turn their energy into power. Now, that might sound complicated. It shouldn't to me, but I guess it does. Because you don't understand. And see, when you ask yourself, why if you prophets and messengers sent with no arms, no guns, just knowledge. Just all. Knowledge. And so why is that? Because it ain't about guns, and it's about pressure. If you understand the nature of our existence, pressure, then the thing is that what you need to do is have higher pressure, and you overcome lower pressure. Lower pressure cannot harm you in any way. That's why I tell you things like no hair in your hair will be harmed, no weapon formed will prosper against you. They say things like that, but you think, oh, there'd be an angel standing there, or Jesus just no. They keep telling you, just obey the law, obey the law, obey the law. And she's like, well, what do you mean obey me? I need to give me a 45, man. I know fools out here say that. I know one person, I'm going to get me some guns. I said, have you been paying attention? I'm teaching Andrew, you're going to get some guns. Well, you don't understand a damn thing I'm saying, do you? It doesn't say anything about you need any, it doesn't say anything about you have any particular weapons. It says you have the truth and no one can stand before you. So how does that work? Because you can't comprehend it. Because they've told you, as it says in Daniel, it says they put their faith in arms, faith in numbers. But if you understand the nature of our reality, that stuff doesn't mean anything. It's to deceive you. So let me see if I can go into this, and I'm trying. I don't want to move on until I get this main point across. Because this is what you need right now. Because this is what you're stepping into right now. You're in it right now. The point is you don't control it. See, you're playing chess, but you think you're playing checkers. You're playing chess, but you think you're in a chess game, but you think you're playing checkers. How is that going to work? How is that going to turn out? See, they tell you the truth. First of all, they can't explain to you how the universe works because they don't know themselves. So they got a very, what's the word I'm going to use? A very simple, two-dimensional way of looking at things when we got a three-dimensional world. Mr. Pathetic. I'm not going to waste time with this, but because he's being dealt with. See, do you know? I mean, you ask yourself a question: why is he in a one-piece jumpsuit? Well, this is a formal affair with everybody else, suit and ties that he's hosting. Why is it one-piece jumpsuit? Why they hold him on his arm? Because they have to dress him, and the easy way to dress him is too hard to put a tie and make sure. See, if he's sitting there. He got to make sure the tie, put a tie on there, got to make sure the tie stays straight. All that kind of stuff. Hey, put him in a one-piece jumpsuit. You figure it out. The mouth. You see. We'll see. Let's move on.
Do you then believe in a part of the book and disbelieve in the other? Do you then believe in a part of the book and disbelieve in the other? What then is the reward of such among you as do this but disgrace in the life of this world, and on the day of resurrection they shall be sent back to the most grievous chastisement? And Allah is not heedless of what you do. 86 These are they who buy the life of this world for the hereafter, so their chastisement shall not be lightened, nor shall they be helped.
They are abundantly guilty of that. I've explained it over and over again. I'm not going to do it today. Right? Anybody looks at that? So, I mean, I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, what's happening now, what's happening in a few days is going to be totally dependent on your decision on how you proceed, on the information that you have. Right now, it's mostly a mind war. It always be that, actually. But it's going to get violent, very violent in a minute. They are going full time with the media. All this BS, propaganda, turning lies in everywhere you go. Then you got social media. And all to keep you confused. It's directed at you, but you don't realize it. And there's abundant guilt. I mean, I can prove it over and over again. They're obviously guilty. It's not even a close call. Oh, here we go.
I gotta do this. Do you mind? Yes, I'm gonna do something. I don't want to put my brother on the spot. See, this is this. This is something else. Love and faith transcends color. And the reason why we embrace Father Flavor as a brother is because we find him on the battlefield of justice, being a true disciple of Jesus. And the last thing I'll say is, you'll never call us racist.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because this day that we honor
Yes, sir.
Master Fard Muhammad, if you see an image of him, put his image up.
Yes, sir.
That's the man whose father was a black man and his mother a Caucasian. And how many of us have a parent that's a Caucasian or grandparent? It's not about color.
Yeah.
It's about our submission to the will of God. And in that we find common ground in unity.
Yes, sir.
So I'm only one shade lighter than you. And Mustafa may be 4 more shades lighter. We a family. Let's stay a family, be a family, and love each other as God would have us to love each other. Love you, Father. Happy Savior's Day. Thank you. I had to do that. We love you. Go ahead. One more time, brother.
$5,000. Anyone could show me that represents anything Elijah Muhammad said. Show me a verse. Mr. Black Man, how he lived, the lessons, anything that supports anything he just did. Anything. Videotape anything. Because they do not represent Elijah Muhammad. Now, any way, shape, or form, it's a lie. They use Elijah Muhammad as a bait. in this picture here, show me anything that supports this. Anything Elijah Muhammad said in the lessons, Mrs. Black Man, Fall of America, Saves the Lives, that supports this. And I showed this to someone about a year or so ago. Oh, that's Photoshop. Is it? It's right on their website. In fact, Farrakhan says, Father Flager is going to heaven. So he will be there. Okay. See, don't be distracted by this, brothers and sisters, because this is good news. How is it good news? Because it shows that Farrakhan's effective. Because the people with him, when they're separated out and thrown into the fire, it'd be clear that it was justice, because they won't be able to say, they can't go back and find anything to justify any of this stuff. So they have to bear witness themselves. They were liars. They were demons. That they didn't love the truth. You see, one of the things that most people understand is the reason why they were saying amen when he was saying, hey, he's my brother, because most of them were Wallace followers. See, I was there. I'm not going into all the details, brothers and sisters. It's just too much. I was there when Elijah Muhammad departed. And Wallace, he took all those people with him because they didn't believe the message to begin with. He badmouthed the messenger. He looted the nation, stole all the nation's assets, him and Farrakhan together. Right? And they went and followed Wallace, started this benevolent thing. They followed Wallace. I was there. He had them doing their Friday night prayers. He took all the chairs out of the temple. They call it mosque now. Had them on their knees, kiss heads up behind each other, behind, all that kind of stuff, right? You know what Sunnis do. That's what they was doing. And he was openly bad-mouthing the messenger. They was right along with it. They supported him for that. And then when he took the money and finally took off, it was Bernard Kushmir, who was a Wallace guy, that went and got him. See, they didn't get him because they wasn't against Wallace. They was against Wallace, his economics. Because see, they was making money off of Farrakhan. They couldn't make him off Wallace, because Wallace told him, hey, you want to be imam? Okay, we don't give you no charity. You have to have your own job. Because Wallace said, we don't need jobs. We don't need the stuff. The white man got it. So he wasn't going to build a goddamn thing. And he said, he called his thing masjids. So if you want to be a minister, you imam, then you got to get your own job. And then you come on Fridays and give whatever you give. Go out and say whatever you need to say, lead the prayer or whatever. And they wasn't making no money off of Wallace. All the money that they gave in charity went back to Wallace. So they said, well, they get Farrakhan. They got Farrakhan, and all the people around Farrakhan was Wallace people. Because I went over there to see what was happening, and it was all Wallace people. And the dude asked me, says, what have you been doing the last 4 or 5 years, right? I said, well, I was about to take his head. I said, what the hell? But you've been doing for that, I know what the hell you've been doing for the last 4 or 5 years. You've been kissing Farrakhan's ass. Bad mouthing the message. Ask me what I've been doing. They're all Wallace people. And so they don't believe in Elijah Muhammad's teaching. But they know they can take advantage of people that was with Elijah by pretending they were Elijah. And so they come in here because you don't get any Elijah. Go over there. If you don't believe me, go over there and see if you get any Elijah. You get a lot of L. Ron Hubbard. You get Scientology, because that's what he's promoting. When they say, hey, Farrakhan helped my savior, they talk about the Dianetics. Don't believe me, go over there and ask. Don't take my word for it. Because they have these nightly video things, video group, what it calls or whatever. And you get on, all they talking about is L. Ron Hubbard and Dianetics. Engrams, all that crap. And if you say somebody lies, they mute you immediately. That's what they're talking about. But they use Elijah to pull you in, but you don't get any Elijah. So it was Master Muhammad. He didn't know anything about that. Oh, so what Master Muhammad didn't give you a full, give you a complete information. You had to go out and get Aaron Hubbard, a devil, to get it. Elijah Muhammad, I don't need Dianetics. Oh, he said, yeah, you definitely got Dianetics. You definitely got a mental problem. Okay, well, okay, whatever. You mean Islam is not enough? Elijah Muhammad to give you complete, right, information for this time period? When it said when you get a scripture, the medical science give you a scripture for the time period, and it's complete for that season. It's complete. But no, he need to get some. He need to go to the devil and get some more information. In fact, he relies on, because if he's telling you your mind is gone, that means he's telling you that your mind's what it's all about. Remember the man in Mark, he had to go get his mind back, same in Daniel. So he's telling you, you won't get your mind from Master Muhammad, you won't get from Elijah Muhammad, you get from L. Ron Hubbard. He's going to give your mind back. The devil. He's going to give you your mind back. Really? Who gave you the mind you have right now? If that's the Dianetics to give your mind back, then what the hell you need Master Muhammad for? He's not preaching Islam. He preached philosophy and L. Ron Hubbard and Scientology. He was flirting with Reverend Moon, the Moonies. They tell me I'm lying. So that's it. He's doing a good job because he's attracting. See, it says the Son of Man will separate the wheat from the chaff. He says Elijah wasn't told he couldn't do that. He had to leave the Son of Man to do it. So if he does it, how does he do it? What's the process? Because you offer two counter. You offer two roads. This road, that road. And your chaff is going to choose that road. Because, hey, it's favorable to them. It's like a magnet, right? If you're positive, you're going to choose the negative because negative is going to track you. If you're negative, the positive is going to track you. So all you got to do is put the negative on one side and the positive on the other side. And then let people roll down. You find who's negative, who's positive. And you see who's negative. Because they're attracted to Farrakhan. So he's doing a good job. Because like the Quran said, although they're separated. So the point is that they can't get, because if they're there, then they're going to try to cross back over when they see the fire, when the fire hit their ass. But they can't say, hey, you was fire? Yeah, okay. Well, what about the message cut? Oh, well, see, they have no answer. They condemn themselves. Because, what about, you see, oh, right? Why are you kissing the devil? What did the lesson say? No answer. What about missing the covenant? No answer. What about the covenant going home? Elijah Muhammad said, you'll be fools that want to stay here. And you see? So that prevents him from jumping back over. Because he's attracting for this bullshit, and they're going for it. And so how in the world you went for that, and you had the lesson. Can you show me a lesson that justifies that? They can't. So they went down the wrong road, and then when they see this dead end, they're going to try to jump over. You can't. He's doing a good job. Right on, Farrakhan. Right on. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. So I'll keep this short, but I'm going to have to. I have no choice. Well, I do have a choice, but all about the Benjamins. All about the Benjamins. That's what they were for. They lured the nation, took everything, left the believers with nothing. Hard work. I sold 300 papers a day myself. I mean, 300 a week, not 300 a day. I sold 300 a week like all other brothers did. And if you want to stay in there, I did guard duty, security. Plus, I was a night foreman, Muhammad Speak newspaper. made all the meetings, search duty, all of that. You didn't get paid for that. You didn't get paid money. But you got paid value. See, value on your energy, value on your dollar. See, when you look in the mirror, you see, hey, see the investment? See what I'm investing in? You like start seeing see what you see. Hey. You know, see, looking in, see your drawers hanging down, right? Braids on your head. See? Nothing in your brain. Nothing in your brain because you didn't put anything in there. Let's move on. Okay, I'm going to walk through this and get some commentary, and then I'm going to close. I'm going to keep it short, sisters. But I want to show you this pattern. What's this? I got a problem here again. Okay, whatever. So I'm walk through this and then, but again, bro, says, let me explain this to you. See, I can't make you anything. I'm not giving anything. I'm just giving you, well, I am. I'm giving information to bring out what's in you. You're a diamond. I'm just here to clean you up. Get all the shit off. So then you be, like I said, once the demons are separated, it says you shine like stars of heaven. That's where diamonds shine. But why are you not shining like that now? Because you're covered with shit from these devils. And these damn demons. That say, the master covered had to come purify you, clean. He said it came with soap. Why did it come with soap? You don't come with soap for the shit, because soap kills shit. You can't clean shit. He comes with soap to clean shit off of you. Farrakhan say you are shit. Oh, you're wicked. You're evil. You're sinful. He's the one. See? You put him in some soap and water, he disappear. Because he's all shit. His followers too. But we here with them, so we got shit on us. And my job is, that's why he came full of soap, to get the shit off of you, because you're diamonds. You already passed the test. Like I said, you had to have maximum discipline to get through the hard course. But they say, oh, we was cowards, we was cotton pickers, all that stuff. Well, yeah, see, they're gonna find in a minute. You know, when they're trying to figure out what's that big boot up their ass. What's that? Where'd that come from? Yeah. Oh, brothers and sisters, I wish there was some kind of way I could just commit all this that I know to you. You'd be, ooh. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. See here? No weapon that's formed against thee shall prosper. Now ask yourself, every tongue that should rise, well, yeah, but how is it going to happen? How is no weapon going to prosper? You going to have weapons? Do the same thing about you having any weapons there? So why is their weapons not going to prosper? Because you got angel or Jesus sitting around here knocking them? No. No. Because you understand the nature of the system we're in, it's all about pressure. Elijah Muhammad didn't come with no guns, no missiles, no bombs. He came with the supreme wisdom Master Muhammad gave, and he stood toe to toe with the most powerful empire on the planet at the time, toe to toe. And didn't back down, kicked ass. He didn't win, he didn't lose either, but he kicked ass. They knew he was here. And he left some scars in their ass. Toe to toe with him. And they feared him. They wasn't fearing why they block him up and all those other things they was doing. They was afraid of the man. Third grade education. He had no guns, he ain't carrying guns, knives, anything. They're afraid of this. And once you get this, they're going to fear you too. They're trying to make sure you never get this. Get the angel. Men's hearts failing them for fear of the expectation of those things was coming upon earth, for the powers of heaven be shaken. And I explained this yesterday. Men's hearts failing them for fear. I mean, if they're in expectation. Now, like I said, the powers, how would they know if the heaven is where you think it is, someplace after you die, or beyond the sun, moon, stars? How would they know about it? How would men here on the earth know about this if this is way beyond the sun, moon, and stars, or it's on after you die place, or some other planet? Because it's not here. It's something they can see, something they can experience, something they can see with their eyes. That's that word, the war in heaven is here. If you understand this here. See, they deceive you by telling, oh, it's way out there, like chapter 20. They tell you chapter 20 is in the future. No, that was their history. That was in the dark ages. All deception. God make out will deceive you. Heaven is here. Heaven represents the Middle East. And something going to happen over there. And it'll be so terrible. And that they're going to know, from some way they're going to know it's coming here. They see someone that's so terrible over there, they see that's coming here. And they have heart attacks just in expectation. So you have to ask yourself, if they have heart attacks in expectation, what will happen when it actually gets here? What effect will it have when it actually gets here? And then it's what's going over there now. Race war is going on right now. They call it genocide. That's just another nice word. And for them, it's race war. They got Europeans that are masquerading as Jews attacking Arabs. And they don't care if the Arabs are Christians or Jews or whatever, they attacking them. If they're Arabs, they attack. It's a race war. They don't want to call it that. Because America's backing it. Because that'll wake you up. Because the race war is coming here. A religious war is about to take place there between the Shia and the Sunni once this war resumes. It's an economic war also. All those things are coming here. Economic war because they're trying to get control of the economics of the region. All those things are going on right there right now. And they're coming here in spades. And they realize it's coming here because the sign's already here. That's why they're preparing. They're putting military in the cities. They tell you, oh, it's because of crime. No, it's because of expectation. Remember, if their hearts are filled, expectation for fear, if men's hearts are filled in for fear, expectation, don't you think they were planning? Oh man, if they're so afraid of what's about to happen, you don't think they plan to protect themselves from it? Use your head, start thinking these things through. If they men's hearts filled in for fear of expectation, man, oh man, these lions are coming, man. I'm having a stroke. Let's do something, man. What can we do? That's right, they're planning. Because they know it's about to come here. I'm getting a crazy mess here. I guess I'm okay. They know it's about to come here. And so if they're planning, it tells you they're planning. Because they said they're afraid of you. A war might break out. You fight with alongside the enemies, and then flee the country. They fear. Remember, if their fear is so great in expectation, that means they're going to do extraordinary things to do to protect themselves. If it comes here, if a race war is coming here, who do you think the race war is going to be between? They said they didn't want you to come organize. Move on, brothers and sisters. They tell me don't take things for granted. If you read this on your own, brothers, all it's telling, this is one of the lessons. It's telling you that weather is controlled by you. It's on a low level right now. See? I'm not going to the music. I'm not, well, maybe I will. I want to keep this short. Have you entered the treasure of snow? They say snow is a treasury. It's like, what do you call it, arm depot? No, what do you call it? What do you call it when you stack your arms up someplace, right? Armory. That says, have you entered this treasure of snow? Like it's an armory. Armory is made of snow. And have you seen this treasure of hail? Another armory. In other words, he's like, right? For you have reserved for a time of trouble, for a day of battle and war. Oh, snow and hail will be your weapons. How is that? How are they your weapons? Because you control the atmosphere on a low level. Now it's like a child. He can talk, but he babble. Blah, 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 blah. Until he gets better and can talk better. I guess it help me out. 17 years old, I'm still babbling. At any rate, right now, you control the weather. Elijah Muhammad spoke to that. When I was there, he spoke a little bit, but he may have spoke years earlier. But it's in the lessons. That's the lesson I just showed you. Because, what music rocks the planet? What music rocks the planet? Is your music? Well, what do you think your music is? It's the atmosphere. It's controlling the atmosphere. That's what music is, isn't it? That's on a low level. What if you take that same music and turn up the volume, get some boom blasters, boom, boom. Want to break out windows and things? Can't turn up a car if it's loud enough? Because it's waves, sonic waves. Turn up loud enough, it'll kill you. That's manipulating the weather. They manipulate the atmosphere. They don't call that weather. They call it weather when it's called a storm or something. But still, when you're manipulating the atmosphere. Let me move on, brothers and sisters. You'll understand in a minute. Okay, let's walk this quickly, brothers and sisters. We're going back to the 1860s. It was at the lowest level of energy. All energy was out there. Very little here on Earth. We have very little energy. We have no energy to maintain ourselves, take energy to think, to go to the bathroom, to walk, to talk, to blink your eye, to think. So if energy becomes low, then our thinking becomes low. Everything. We lose control of stuff. To have a mate, we lost control. So they was in the fields, was totally under their control. And some of us was in Matt's house, but those were Matt's children from rape. The house niggas were black-faced devils, his children that he allowed in the house. And us, that's in the fields. Both black, but one original, one skin folk, one kinfolk. We got first energy burst, you first start contracting, 1860s. So then you had the two, one city dweller get away from Mass, and one want to stay with Mass because he's a house nigga, right? And we had the blues. Oh, we start manipulating the atmosphere now. We got enough energy to start manipulating the atmosphere. Blues. That's when blues came out. We had the blues. Reflect our emotions. So you know it came from us. You know it came from us because it reflected our emotions at the time, blues. Not only that, but it actually came from us. Right? Because of Negroes. 50 years later, right? Jazz. Start getting jazz, you start calling colors, and it has two different distinctions again. Eurocentric, we still think we one people. We just have different ideas. We still call ourselves blacks, right? 50 years later, oh, the Motown sound. Out of that came rapping, all that kind of stuff, right? Oh, but man, again, he wants to get close to the devils. Not just work with the devils and think like devils, but we want to live with you. We want to be a part of you. We want equal rights with you. Be accepted, equal with you. And we want to get the hell out of here. Two different ideas again. This the original, this kinfolk. Oh, here's skinfolk. See? And then one called blacks, all called Afro-American. Distinction becomes clearer now. See, we still think of ourselves as one group of people. And then we get to the next step right here, and distinction is clear now. Oh no, they're devils, black-faced devils. That's it. When Son of Man comes, he will make the separation. He'll separate the wheat from the chaff. That's what's happening right now. So now we know. He says, no, they're not our people. They're skin folk. They're demons, half devil, half man. And we're true to Abraham. And what, 2020s, a new music, another 50 years, we're writing it right now. So it means something about to happen. And now that we know we're different, we hate each other. Now we know we're different, we hate each other. Because we know the difference between us. Now we know they're the chaff and we're the wheat. Okay? So let's see let's go a couple of things. I'm gonna close, brothers and sisters. Right? But let's see what his attitude would be. Let's see if we can find if this is the right person for this side. Let's see what he has to say.
I believe that America can be beautiful. How can America be made beautiful? Now, family, listen. My brother Imam Warafuddin and I have had disagreement. But his followers and mine have never given each other as much as a bloody nose. Because in spite of our differences, there's a deep love in us. We don't like the things about our nation that is not good, but I don't want to live anywhere else. I want America to be made right. I don't want to see America go the way of Rome and Babylon and Sodom and Gomorrah. But why won't you go that way? If the men of religion and the women of religion keep silent.
See how he feels about America? See? His attitude? He wants to stay here. He wants to be with them. He wants to heal America. So what side of the coin you think he's on then? Now remember, now that we, at this point in time, the distinction is made, and then we realize the sheep, the wolves of sheep clothing is separated from the sheep. And so now we, right? And so the sheep, hey, now they recognize they're the wolves of sheep clothing. They don't mad about with them. They hate each other now. Because now we met the sheep, the chaff hates the wheat, we hate chaff. So let's see. Remember that he's talking about his people. How he feels, let's see how he feels about us. You know, the Muslims.
When the Muslims were alive, I'll say it again. When the Muslims were alive, you as hell now on both sides. Yes, sir, brother. That's real, both sides. That's real. When we were alive, we set up schools. That's right. When we were alive, we had supermarkets. We owned buildings. We owned farmlands. We were busy doing something, hiring our people. Well, I'm telling the Muslims, damn it, if you don't come alive, you will die like you are. And I will say, thank you, Allah, because if they're not doing nothing on top of the earth, let the worms eat their ass.
There you have it. That's how you think about the Muslims followers that follow him, put stakes on his table. Both sides, male and female. He neglected to say that he's the one that killed it. Him and Wallace killed the Nation of Islam. They got rid of it. Started something called the Millennials. Got rid of, eradicated the Nation of Islam, eradicated it. Took all the assets, all the money, and eradicated and badmouthed the messenger and master from how I was there. Eyewitness. Okay. They said we didn't need that stuff. White man got it. They got stores, they got banks. We don't need that. So you decide. What side of the coin you think? That pattern I just showed you. Because you can Google and verify that pattern. And something I made up. See when blues came out. See when jazz came out. Motown sound. And right we're on the 50 year, right here, the 50-year mark. So what's about to happen now? Let's move on, brothers and sisters. So again, right? So what side you think he's on? So what would this side be talking about? Going home, getting rid of the other side, going back home to Arabia, Message of the Covenant, music, I don't know what they're going to call it, but it'll be about victory. Because each one of those sounds was a reflection of our emotional state. And so, the one on the right side, you're talking about he'd be the messenger of the covenant. Because the covenant says we return home. Farrakhan said we're not going anywhere. The covenant said we return home to Arabia. See? It says that the person that takes home be called Joshua, not Aaron. Joshua. He be teaching the people about how to get home. Not to stay here. Be asking anybody for any money. Come to get information. Don't need your money. Okay. I control myself, so I don't need your money. Understand that? So I'm going to leave it there, but I'm going to say one more thing and then I'm going to close, brothers and sisters. See if I can get this point across. Okay, let me see what else I got here. Okay, men's hearts feeling, I just mentioned that. For fear of expectation, those things which are coming on earth, powers can be shaken. Okay. See, this is a graphic. See, you got the American side, outside, And we put in pressure. Greater pressure overcomes lesser pressure. So we're crushing America right now. You don't realize it. And they're going to resist. That's why I told Pharaoh, let them people go. You let them go, it's going to be crushing to you. Hold them here, it's going to be a plague to you. Crushing plague. See? Putting pressure on them. They're going to resist it. Greater pressure. So let me go ahead and see if I can get you to understand how it works in the close. Okay, I'm not going to talk about this, but I talked about it yesterday. Action, reaction. I'll come together cause them to break apart. Because they're the ones holding us, keep us apart. Okay, I'm not going to move on, brothers and sisters. I told this yesterday, but I really want. I don't have time for it today. I have something else I have to take care of.
1.
Well, let me play this.
Now after the death of Moses the servant of the Lord it came to pass, that the Lord spake unto Joshua the son of Nun, Moses' minister, saying, To Moses my servant is dead, now therefore arise, go over this Jordan, thou, and all this people, unto the land which I do give to them, even to the children of Israel. 3. Every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon, that have I given unto you, as I said unto Moses. 4. From the wilderness and this Lebanon even unto the great river, the river Euphrates, all the land of the Hittites, and unto the great sea toward the going down of the sun, shall be your coast. 5. There shall not any man be able to stand before thee all the days of thy life, as I was with Moses, so I will be with thee, I will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. 6. Be strong and of a good courage, for unto this people shalt thou divide for an inheritance the land, which I swear unto their fathers to give them. 7. Only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law, which Moses my servant commanded thee, turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, that thou mayest prosper whithersoever thou goest. 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein, for then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. 9. Have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of a good courage, be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with thee whithersoever thou goest.
Now you probably didn't notice here it says, this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth. That means you be speaking. It's a recital. That's a little hint there you probably didn't notice. Reciting. And it's much more detailed about the Quran. So all those books was prepared for actually Son of Man. But that's another story. Right. But the recital. See, it's part of it. Oh, as you said, the law. That was your, if you had, those didn't help you if you obey the law. Now if you get a Uzi, now if you get a shotgun, now if you get an atomic bomb, obey the law. Because this is about a pressure system. And obeying the law makes you have greater pressure than them. That means there's nothing they can do against you. No weapon they can form prevail against you, because whatever weapon they comes out of their mind, and your mind is greater than theirs. So I'm going to go more in that tomorrow. Right? Understand, that's the principle. We live in a pressure system. If you have greater pressure, lower pressure cannot harm you in any way. And here it is. Let me play this.
And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whither the Lord thy God hath driven thee, to, and shalt return unto the Lord thy God, and shalt obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thine heart, and with all thy soul. 3. That then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity, and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations, whither the Lord thy God hath scattered thee. For if any of thine be driven out unto the outmost parts of heaven, from thence will the Lord thy God gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. 5. And the Lord thy God will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and he will do thee good, and multiply thee above thy fathers. 15. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil. 16. In that I command thee this day to love the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply, and the Lord thy God shall bless thee in the land whither thou goest to possess it. 17. But if thine heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shalt be drawn away, and worship other gods, and serve them. 18. I denounce unto you this day, that ye shall surely perish, and that ye shall not prolong your days upon the land, whither thou passest over Jordan to go to possess it. 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. 20. That thou mayest love the Lord thy God, and that thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him, for he is thy life, and the length of thy days, that thou mayest dwell in the land which the Lord sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them.
Okay, brothers and sisters, in short, it's telling you got a choice between American Dream and Farrakhan or Message of the Covenant and go home. That's your choice. It says choose life, stay with them death. That's simple. That's what it's telling you. So if you want to choose Farrakhan, go ahead. Nobody will stop you. You want to choose American Dream, go ahead. Stay here. Reparations. Finally, let me go ahead and read, and then tomorrow, hopefully, I'll go into so much more detail. See here, this is the law. Elijah Muhammad gave you the law on a lower level. There's different levels of law, but this is the mechanism to control the law. Or is this the gym? Like, you have a couple weights at home, yeah. But if you go to the gym, it's unlimited. So I'm showing you the gym. This is the law. These are the principles, the 5 pillars of it. And you can get strong as you want to get strong. You apply them. You get as strong as you want to be. The more discipline, the more you apply, the more discipline you have. The more discipline you have, the more power you have. Because power, time, and energy. Energy, time, discipline equals power. So here's the gym. Now, and we show you how to work it. Now it's up to you to do something with it. That is your protection. That is your success. And your weapon is weather. That's one of your weapons. But with this discipline, that gives you power. And no one will be able to stand against you. The 5 pillars here. And I'll go into more detail. I explained it yesterday. I have a presentation explaining each one of these in detail. But that's it. Elijah Muhammad gave you this, but he didn't give you the root of it. Right? He showed you how to lift weights. He needs to show you how to go to the gym and how to use all the equipment. This is the root of it, the 5 pillars. Not the way Sunnis think it. They don't understand themselves. That's it. Right? Consequence. It gets back to the angel. All of it based on consequence, actually. Then you got salats. Right? Recital. That's what really is not. Master Muhammad didn't pray. And prayer is not going to solve anything for you. But you understand that. You understand where prayer comes from. It's recital. The Quran says recital at dawn is prayer. But you probably missed that one. Zakat, currents. teach you how to. This is how you master yourself. You will not return that thorough knowledge of self. This is how you master. The more you master this, the more power, discipline you have, more power you have. Your power is greater than theirs. Nothing they can do to you. Absolutely nothing. If you're in prison and your power becomes greater than theirs, it's not the bars that hold you in there. It's the person that got the key that's to the bars holding you in there. If your power is greater than theirs, they can't hold you any longer. It's impossible. I'll probably go more into this tomorrow. I'm going to focus just on this part. Let's see what happens. Angel. Okay, I'm going to close out here, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum.
We have a lot of that going on, but we're taking care of our farmers. We can't let our farmers not have anybody. These people. You can't replace them very easily. People that live in the inner city are not doing that work. They're just not doing that work, and they've tried. We've tried. Everybody tried. They don't do it. These people do it naturally. I said, what happens if they get it to a farmer the other day? What happens if they get a bad back? He said, they don't get a bad back, sir, because if they get a bad back, they die. I said, that's interesting, isn't it?
Well, you heard that. Donald Trump is a believer in eugenics. He believes that white people are the superior race. And inner city is code for black people. And he believes black people cannot now work on the farms. I guess they're not good enough for that. So Hispanic people can do it because they have the backs for it. This is what this man is saying out loud in interviews. He is a racist. It's been proven time and time again. The man had Mein Kampf on his bedside table that he would read at night. Enough to let you know where he stands on that. Just more outrageous, racist things from Donald Trump. They want to arrest those who can do the farm work well until their backs give out. And then he'll probably ship them to El Salvador or some other country. Just more vile statements from the president and let you know where he stands.
When they were arresting people for praying outside of abortion clinics. I mean, I do think the UK, and I say this as, someone who is half English, I think it's reached, or it is quickly reaching a point where democratic reforms are going to be pretty tough because of the demographic change. And that, of course, the point of importing all these people is to overwhelm the people who live there who disapprove of the program. So you don't have to care what they think because you just bring in new people, and their will becomes all that matters. And so I don't think you're going to fix these things through elections at some point, probably pretty soon. And I just worry a place like the UK, Canada is another, a bunch of different countries in the West are at the point where they're literally revolutionary. They are poised for revolution. And as someone who really doesn't support revolution and hates violence and hates civil war above all, I'm worried about that. I mean, I don't see how this is fixed. Starmer, who's, he's just an instrument of larger forces, but he's a poisonous character, obviously, who's really hurt your country. He's in there for, 4 more years? And so you wonder, people are going to start to get really radical in a scary way. I think this is going to happen. And the people in charge don't seem to care.
Well, you're already seeing it. You are seeing the anger beginning to manifest itself, and I completely understand the anger. I don't like you. I abhor any form of violence. But but I do understand the anger when you have, Keir Starmer campaign, I'm going to smash the gangs that allow these little boats to come over the channel, delivering tens of thousands of people illegally into the country. And they then get put into these so-called asylum hotels where they're given a pretty good lifestyle. Certainly a far better lifestyle than many people really struggling at the moment in the UK. And of course, far from smashing the gangs, it turned out yesterday that he's smashing new records for the number of people coming in illegally on the boats. It's out of control. And the British public are reaching a point and saying, we are done with people coming in illegally and being treated better in a more comfortable and more luxurious manner than we treat our own people.
Well, the whole point is to humiliate and degrade the indigenous population of the British Isles, the white population. I mean, that's the whole point. And are they really going to do something about it? What would that be exactly?
Are reaching a point and saying, we are done with people coming in illegally and being treated better in a more comfortable and more luxurious manner than we treat our own people.
Well, the whole point is to humiliate and degrade the indigenous population of the British Isles, the white population. I mean, that's the whole point. And are they really going to do something about it? What would that be exactly? You'd really have to force a lot of people to go back to their countries of origin, millions of people, and you need to do it really soon. And are they actually willing to do that? I don't know, but these are existential questions that we have been browbeat into ignoring for decades. But the question is is Ireland Ireland? If it's majority non-Irish? Oh, shut up, they're Irish. No, they're actually not Irish. Same with the UK, same with England, Scotland, Wales. It's all changing so fast. Nothing like this has ever happened in all of history, except when, say, the Mongols swept across the steppe and raped everybody. That was true demographic change on this scale. But even that wasn't as profound as what we're seeing in every white country around the world. I would say the West, but Australia and New Zealand also. So, what is that? Now, my brain is not big enough to understand what that is. I have a lot of theories about it, but I don't know if they're true. All I know is what the numbers are, and that's real, and no one feels that he can say it. Everyone's like, oh, well, if that were happening in China or India or Malaysia or Senegal, it doesn't matter. You'd be like, what the hell is that? The population's totally different. Look at graduation. Pick, King's College Law School, and look at the graduation picture for the last 30 years. Who's in it? Just let your eyes tell you the truth for once. This is a total change in population. Is it better? Is it worse? Can't have that conversation. Who's pushing this? Does the population want it? The population clearly doesn't want it. There's no polling that's meaningful on the subject. There's no referendum on it. You don't get to decide. You've got no voice in it, other than you get to go to jail if you complain loudly enough about it. What is this? I think it's the biggest and darkest thing that has happened in the last 1,000 years, for sure. And I think it's leading somewhere really, really bad. It's not happening by accident, that's obvious, because it's only happening in white countries.
I think that...
Oh, shut up, white supremacist. In fact, I'm not white supremacist. I'm just noticing what the hell is going on.
I think most people I've spoken to about this in the UK, most people have always viewed the UK to be a very tolerant, multicultural, cosmopolitan place to live. That's why so many people want to come here. And people have no problem with that. And it's been very successful for a long period of time.
But it's multicultural? What does that mean?
We have a lot of different people from different countries, different cultures, and it's always worked historically.
So is Sharia law, in a multicultural country, is Sharia law... What does that mean?
We have a lot of different people from different countries, different cultures, and it's always worked historically.
So is Sharia law, in a multicultural country, is Sharia law every bit as valid as English common?
No, people don't want Sharia law here. No.
A lot of people do. Wait, hold on. I don't know what you mean. Multiculturalism itself is the lie designed to subvert a society. A society has a culture. You can argue about what it is or ought to be. It's not necessarily the same as race. It's connected to race, but it's not the same. People from different races can buy into your culture. That was kind of the beauty of the West. But a multicultural society is not sustainable. There's
your society is about
one culture will dominate.
Hang on. Surely the United States of America, given the very way it was created, is the epitome of a multicultural society. And my point I was going to make
it's absolutely not. No. It's a multiracial society.
Yeah.
though it was not actually a multiracial society up until pretty recent. It's just like 90% white for most of its existence, but whatever. But you did have different peoples, you had different religions. That was all totally fine, but there was one culture, as American culture. There's no such thing as a multicultural society. It's not sustainable. One culture will overwhelm the other. Again, it's not the same as race. It's not identical to race. It's connected, but it's not the same. But multiculturalism is by definition insane. No, it's never happened. It never will happen. One culture will predominate. It will impose its values on everybody else. I mean, the gay thing, which was not a thing 40 years ago, gay was a slur, all of a sudden becomes multicultural there. There's one culture, and it's required. And that's true in every society, because a culture is a commonly agreed upon set of values, which in their firmest form are called laws.
But those values can evolve.
It's true everywhere.
But those values can evolve.
Of course they evolve, but there's only one set of them. It's not multicultural. There's one set. You don't have one God in every society. Sorry.
Your country's values were established by the United States Constitution, and that's had, what is it, 26, 27 amendments? Right, so your own values, as determined by the Founding Fathers, they have evolved and been changed to accommodate changing time.
There's no doubt. Look, I'm not even arguing against change. That's natural. It's natural that people's views evolve.
So the culture changes.
When you're rejecting the laws of nature, then you're doomed. But let me just say, no, of course, societies change. I get it. All I'm saying, I'm making a very discrete, specific point, which is multiculturalism as an idea is laughably stupid. It has never worked. We never had it anywhere, and it never will exist, because it's contrary to human nature. One culture, one way of looking at things, one worldview will predominate, and it will punish all who deviate from it. That is the nature of societies. So if you're telling me it's
determined by the Founding Fathers, they have evolved and been changed to accommodate changing time.
There's no doubt. Look, I'm not even arguing against change. That's natural. It's natural that people's views evolve.
So those values can evolve.
There's one culture, and it's required. And that's true in every society, because a culture is a commonly agreed upon set of values, which in their firmest form are called laws.
But those values can evolve.
This is true everywhere.
But those values can evolve.
Of course they evolve, but there's only one set of them. It's not multicultural. There's one set. You don't have one God in every society. Sorry.
Your country's values were established by the United States Constitution, and that's had, what is it, 26, 27 amendments? Right, so your own values, as determined by the Founding Fathers, they have evolved and been changed to accommodate changing time.
There's no doubt. Look, I'm not even arguing against change. Natural that people's views evolve.
So the culture changes.
When you're rejecting the laws of nature, then you're doomed. But let me just say, no, of course, societies change. I get it. All I'm saying, I'm making a very discrete, specific point, which is multiculturalism as an idea is laughably stupid. It has never worked. We never had it anywhere, and it never will exist, because it's contrary to human nature. One culture, one way of looking at things, one worldview will predominate, and it will punish all who deviate from it. That is the nature of societies. So if you're telling me it's multicultural, we can all live and have radically different values, that's just not true. It's never been true. It never will be true. So you're going to have one culture, one worldview predominate over another and dominate and suppress all dissent. That's just what it is.
But I would point to the United States of America and the United Kingdom as two shining examples, albeit not completely without their flaws, but shining examples of places that are deemed by the rest of, certainly for that about my country.
Well, I certainly think that inherent in Christianity is the notion of tolerance, and that draws from a core Christian concept, which is free will. You cannot force someone to convert. There's never been conversion by the sword in Christianity. People decide to believe in it. And so that is central to the religion, therefore it's been central to the society. Western civilization is Christian civilization, and so we call that tolerance. It's a respect for your inherent God-given right to make a choice about what you believe. Okay, so of course, that's always been a feature. My only point is, a society has a commonly agreed upon set of beliefs, rules, and laws that are the definition of the society itself. That's what society is. So you can't have competing. You can't have, gay world and Sharia world living co-equally in a society. That does not happen. It will never happen. So you have to pick one. Are we the Sharia society? Are we the party time gay rights society? Like, which one? And you can't face that reality, so you're just sort of snoozing along until the inevitable point where you're going to wake up and be like, my values have no bearing on what our society is anymore, because we've been invaded by other people with a totally different worldview, and they're now in charge. And that day is coming very soon for your country, and maybe it'll improve it. I don't think the UK could be a lot worse than it already is. It's this kind of disgusting, sad, self-hating, suicidal island that was once great. It kills me to see it as a half-English person, but that day is coming. It will change. You will either decide to be Western or Eastern. That's a choice that we're all going to face. I don't want to face that choice, but it's being foisted upon us by the architect. That's a choice that we're all going to face. Suicidal island that was once great. It kills me to see it as a half-English. That day is coming. It will change. You will either decide to be Western or Eastern. That's a choice that we're all going to face. I don't want to face that choice, but it's being foisted upon us by the architects of mass migration. Sorry.
I would question your characterization as my country as a sad, disgusting, suicidal nation. I feel none of those things. I feel very happy to be in the United Kingdom, and I feel that there are lots of very happy.
Our system, the Western system, which is very distinct from the Eastern system, very distinct, and it's distinct on this one precise point, we believe, and have always believed since this country was founded, since your country became, not a pure monarchy, but even when it was a pure monarchy, the belief in the West, because of Christianity, was the worst thing you can do is punish the innocent. That's the worst thing you can do. That's worse than not punishing the guilty. And we often said that to each other. We no longer say that because there is a pretty concerted effort to blur the meaning of these terms. But I'm not going to be deterred from defining words precisely. Terror is murdering people, killing people, punishing people who committed no crime. Period.
So when the Israeli government says it has repeatedly that even though over 20,000 completely innocent children are believed to have died in their response to what Hamas did on October the 7th at the hands of the IDF, there are many on the pro-Palestinian side who say that Israel is behaving like terrorists too in the way that they have gone about conducting this war. Would you go as far as to say that?
One of the things that I really object to now is this relentless focus on Israel, which, by the way, is a foreign country that I have nothing to do with.
We've done this before. Now, maybe today things are different, and we will end up living in a nation that is sharply divided and may ultimately produce something else. But I'm an American. I love my country. I want to see it stay together. I'm interested in social cohesion, which means that I think our laws, customs, and culture have to be dominant. We can accept some diversity on the edges, but not fundamental division. I think we're in a state of fundamental division. So when I bring up Sharia law, I've sat in many discussions with many people that said, well, I don't care what people look like, but I do care about Sharia law, and I don't want that practiced anywhere near my family or in my country. And that's something you should be aware of. So the notion that someone can come here and say, well, that's part of my religion and we're going to abide by Sharia law, they're going to find serious resistance and opposition in the country. That's It's because it matters. It's this thing we call societal cohesion. Nations do not exist on their own. They have a core population. Our core population from the very beginning was always at least 80% European and Christian and about 15 to 20% African. But when you start bringing in huge numbers, millions who are fundamentally different from the core population, you are going to get violence, anger, and conflict. How many times have you heard people say, if you bring people in from the developing world, what do you get? The developing world. And now we've got that. You can't bring in hundreds of thousands of people from Somalia, plant them, of all places, in Minnesota, and then be shocked that, no, they're not Americans. They're not really interested in being Americans. They're foreigners living on American soil. Nobody wants to say that publicly. If you do, oh, well, you're a racist. Well, you know, the world is full of racists. The real war that's going to decide our fate is not going to be fought anywhere overseas. It's going to be fought right here inside the United States. Are we going to survive as a republic, as an English-speaking republic that rests on the foundations of Western civilization? Or are we going to become something else?
One point that is
The Constitution was completed in 1789. I think we had 5 million people living in the 13 British colonies. We were 90% white, that is excluding the Africans who were in the country who had been brought here as slaves. But we were 90% white, we were 90% Protestant. And this may be hard for you to believe, but the people that wrote that were trying to protect all of the Protestant sects from a state church on the model of the Church of England and the Roman Catholic Church. That's one of the reasons it was almost 100 years or more after that before people began to finally accept Catholicism as a religion, because it was viewed as political power. My point to you is the Constitution is outdated. The way we are governed is outdated. It has to be re-examined. Nobody in 1789 imagined that anybody would come to the United States except another lunatic, religious fanatical Protestant who hated the Church of England. That's what people feared. That's what they thought of. The Constitution that we have does many good things, but I would argue that the Bill of Rights is ultimately more important. The Bill of Rights is vital and essential, and that needs to be defended. But the Constitution and the way we govern and the things that we're doing, it's out of date. It doesn't fit our needs. And that's back to my comment on something given has no value. You have to earn it. And we haven't made anybody earn their place in this country. I'm talking about people like me that have been here forever. My first ancestor stepped off the boat in 1681. So we've got to get back to some notion of national service, because national service promotes national integration. It addresses some of these problems that you're discussing. Now, I know that you may not want to conform and may not want to be as I am, but I'm an American and nobody questions that. Nobody ever will. If you don't want to stand out and be questioned, then I suggest that you change your appearance, because I don't think it's life or death for you to wear what you wear.
I think this conversation
It's not fun, because it's leading to violence that could have otherwise been avoided. You see, every great nation, every large nation can always accept some number of people into its ranks that are different from them. It's always been the case. But if you suddenly import millions, which is what's happened here and happened in Europe, then you threaten the core gene pool. What I'm trying to tell you is there's a problem. And we can all think that there isn't, and you can insist there isn't, but that's the view. And I think it's incumbent upon all of us to address it truthfully and openly. Stop pretending it's not a problem. It's a problem.
I mean, what's also a problem is white supremacy, and that.
No, because you're saying you're different, you're going to remain different, and you don't think that if that's not compatible with being an American, then the hell with it. That's what you're going to do.
Well, then what do you make then of, white American people who convert, let's say, to Islam and choose to cover? Are they not American anymore?
Listen, if they want to do that, that's obviously their business. I don't know how many are out there that do that. I think again, it's ill-advised. I think you have to hold the society together. There has to be an agreement on certain things, customs, culture, way of life. And unfortunately, if you're going to practice rigidly a brand of Islam that demands certain things, and this is why I asked right off the bat, do you support Sharia law?
I'm a Muslim. What being a Muslim means is I follow the guidelines of my religion, which is a
Does your religion dictate to you Sharia law?
My religion dictates to me to be a good human being, to be good to my neighbors, to
that the most powerful force in today's Republican Party is represented by what Charlie Kirk said. It is this drive to make America a white Christian nation. I got to tell you, this is what they say privately. This is not what they say publicly. This is what Charlie Kirk said publicly.
And Joe, again, one of the reasons I wanted to have you on, because you know these people very, very well. Yeah. You said it yourself. You were one of the strongest voices. You were one of the folks who understood the incendiary language when you were in Congress, when you had your radio show, and how people loved when you did it. And then when you chose to apologize for that and turn away from it, oh my God, they literally have just tried to destroy you because of that.
Yeah, again, you know the deal, Roland, right? I came out publicly against Trump 7 years. For 7 years, I put up with death threats on a regular basis. Nobody is welcome in that party unless you bow down to what this force is, this MAGA force. And again, look, there have been some people on the left who've celebrated Charlie Kirk's murder. Shame on them, be better people, but this is much worse, Roland, what my former friends are doing on the right, because they are turning this into a holy war. When you say we declare war on the left because of what some 22-year-old young guy did in Utah, and then you declare war on the whole left, that's a lot worse than celebrating Charlie Kirk's murder, because that's dishonest, but that's also inciting hate and violence. And Roland, look, Trump's an idiot. So yeah, Trump says the left, the problem in the country is the left. J.D. Vance is not an idiot. What did J.D. Vance say today, right? He was subbing for Charlie Kirk on his radio show, and he spent the entire show going after the left, going after them, them. Man, Democrats need to wake up, Roland. This is a really serious deal by my former colleagues. The stuff that I hear privately from them right now, Roland, for the last 5 days, they want to go to war. This is a holy war.
Oh, it absolutely is. And what really jumps out at me on this very thing here, Joe, and I've been saying this, I played the speech 2 weeks ago that mainstream media just ignored, of Missouri Senator Eric Schmidt, who gave a speech at NatCon, Peter Thiel's group, where he literally gave a white nationalist speech, where he said our ancestors fought for this country to be ours and no one else. He was talking about white people. He was basically saying, if you are Black, Latino, Asian American, or even Native American, America is not for you. And folks just ignored it. And so people need to understand, again, what they're saying, why they're saying it. And yes, there are many evangelicals, any very conservative white Christians who are pushing this as well. And you nailed it. They want a holy war. They want a race war. They want this to be a white country. It is clear as day.
And Roland, really important point, Charlie Kirk at only 31, the impact he had because he was one of the most successful pushers of this white Christian nationalistic idea. And so I think that's why all of his defenders are out there so strenuously denying he said anything divisive, because they know if you really go through Charlie Kirk's public record, everything he said about people of color and black women and Muslims and gays and transgenders, if people took the time to go through all of that, and that was put out for average people to see, they'd be blown away by it. That's why his defenders are like supercharged right now. They don't want that record to be seen.
Today, you mentioned, and I mentioned as well, Vice President J.D. Vance sitting in to do his show. And listen to this man just blatantly lie, Joe. Play it.
I read a story in The Nation magazine about my dear friend, Charlie Kirk. Now, The Nation isn't a fringe blog. It's a well-funded, well-respected magazine whose publishing history goes back to the American Civil War. George Soros' Open Society Foundation funds this magazine, as does the Ford Foundation and many other wealthy titans of the American progressive movement. The writer accuses Charlie of saying, and I quote, "Black women do not have brain processing power to be taken seriously." But if you go and watch the clip, the very clip she links to, you realize he never said anything like that. He never uttered those words. He made an argument against affirmative action as a policy. He criticized a specific Supreme Court justice as an individual. He never said anything about black women as a group. He made an argument for judging people of all races and backgrounds by their own individual merits.
Bullshit.
Okay, Joe, this is actually what he said.
No, Roland, that's utter bullshit.
In fact, you know, if we would have said 3 weeks ago, Blake, if we would have said that Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks, we would have been called racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously. Play cut 52.
But I rise today as a clear recipient of affirmative action, and particularly in higher education. I may have been admitted on affirmative action, both in terms of being a woman and a woman of color.
All right, Joe, he literally said it. Not only that, Vance lied. Soros does not fund the nation. So he sat there and flat out lied.
And Roland, remind me, what's J.D. Vance's job? He's the vice president, and yet he had time today to do a radio show for a former right-wing podcaster. I mean, look what they're not even, Roland, they're not even subtle about it, what this White House is doing. They believe, man, the path to victory is fear, hate, and division. And that's what they're putting out there. That was Charlie Kirk literally going after 4 accomplished black women by saying they didn't have the brain power to get where they got. This is what he believed. And this is what MAGA believes. And that, again, Roland, broken record, that's why Charlie Kirk was so damn successful. Why he had such a big audience.
Yeah, and not only that, you take Nick Fuentes, who's to the right of Charlie Kirk. The night of or the day after Kirk was shot and killed, Fuentes had 200,000 people watching him live. And so what you have this fervor. And so when I listen to Trump and Vance and all these people talking about, how the left, they're indoctrinating. No, and you know this very well, the indoctrination. We've had people who formerly were with Turning Point USA put out videos talking about how it was really this cult-like figure, this messianic figure that they sort of set Kirk up as, and how they want them to follow that. And so that's what's going on here. These people are not trying to have open dialogue. And not only that, Joe, you take Trump, okay? Trump was very clear in saying he was not going to call Governor Tim Walz after those 4 folks were shot in Minnesota. 2 were killed, including former Speaker of the House and her husband. Now today he's saying, oh, he never even heard of Melissa Hortman, and if the governor had asked him, he would have, of course, lowered the flags to have staff. I'm sorry, he's also lying. He knew about her. He knew about the shooting, but he was so arrogant that he said, oh, 2 Democrats, a Democrat Speaker of the House shot and killed? Yeah, I don't care, but lower the flags to have staff with Charlie Kirk. Flies body on Air Force 2. Do a memorial service at the community center. Do another one at the Arizona Cardinals Stadium. Give him the Medal of Freedom. And I'm telling you, they're going to give him a state funeral. That's what you're seeing right now. And then you got Peter Hegseth going after members of the military who said anything negative in the aftermath of his death. You've got Kirk supporters creating a database of people of every social media post, and then even Van saying in the podcast, you call their employer. So the so-called free speech people all of a sudden are saying, if you say anything negative about Charlie Kirk, after what took place last week, we're going to come after you, come after your job. Oh, I thought they hated cancel culture, Joe.
Roland, I remember back in my right-wing radio days, I would come on every day, and there was always some story about some leftist group on a college campus that couldn't handle speech that made them uncomfortable
to say.
Roland, this is scary, and you and I are old enough, man, to remember huge figures in American history who were gunned down, struck down, military leaders, civil rights leaders. We are treating this 31-year-old podcaster, MAGA influencer, like he's Jesus Christ. So I come from the right. Why are my old colleagues and friends on the right doing this, Roland? Because the right wants a religious war. Let's just call it. They want a civil war. They want a holy war. That's why they're putting him up to be some Jesus-like martyr.
Absolutely. I mean, Glenn Beck literally came out and said he was a civil rights leader. Oh my God, stop it. Stop it. I've seen people say, I've seen a lot of these videos, I'm leaving my church because my pastor did not mention him. This was a Christian warrior. And let's just be clear. You said it, white Christian nationalists. It's slaveholder religion. We heard a lot of this stuff during slavery, during Jim Crow, things along those lines. And this whole idea about, it was about debate. It was about, exchange of ideas. I mean, come on, let's just stop it. And so we see what's going on here. We see the games that are being played. And then what gets me, Joe, is this whole deal of, oh my God, the left, how they indoctrinated him and the accused killer going to a university. The dude was at a university for 1 semester, Joe. You're trying to tell me that 1 semester at a mostly white institution in Mormon, Utah, which is not a liberal bastion, somehow just radicalized him? I mean, it really is showing folks the hand they're trying to play.
Yeah, and I think even on top of that, Roland, I think it was like some technical school. So it wasn't some crazy liberal arts school for a semester. Look, cut through all the BS. The Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, has publicly said that America should be a white Christian country. This is what animates my former party. Roland, you know me, right? Tea Party Hellraiser. I don't come from the left. I left the Republican Party when the Republican Party became MAGA. And my fellow Democrats and folks on the left need to understand, now these people are on the right. Now this is MAGA. MAGA now are the snowflakes. MAGA, Roland, they now need their safe spaces. It's funny, but it's not funny. And you're right about J.D. Vance, man. He just flat out lied. I mean, the last 30-year history of political violence in this country, the vast majority of it is right-wing. It always has been. And they put out this lie that it's only on the left. It's not even, Roland, a both sides problem between the left and the right. There is political violence on the left, but the vast majority is on the right, and they know that, and they're lying because they're trying to inflame their base. And Roland, I hear from their base every day, and let me tell you something, they are inflamed. I mean, they are ready to march and grab their you-know-what. This is a scary time.
It is, and folks need to understand what is certainly at stake. Joe Walsh, I appreciate you joining us on the show.
History of the cross, known by their works. What's the history of the cross? Behind the history of the cross, murder, rape, destruction, deception, enslavement, burning, terrorizing. To maintain a slavery system, you must terrorize the people 24/7. They terrorize people from Africa and America for 400 years. Constant terror, 24/7, rape, murder. In the name of Jesus. This is Christians, not Buddhists, not Hindus. Christians, in the name of Jesus. They said Jesus cursed black people. They call them Ham, cursed them to be slaves and persecuted forever. In the name of Jesus, raped our women incessantly, kissed in our mouths, made us eat shit. And they took and tried to clean up, I get, well, not clean up, but make it look more attractive, I guess, by calling it chitlins. It's after slavery, of course, after so-called slavery. Because what was to do it was not slavery. Look up slavery. Look up slavery. It does include murder, rape, terror. This is a Holocaust. And then now they try to downplay it. Oh, that was 40 years ago. No, it wasn't 40 years ago. How could it was a million years ago? It was 20 years ago. It lasted for 400 years. It's enduring today. They took everything away from the slaves. Everything. Their name, their culture, their families, their religion, their minds, everything. Fed their children to alligators as alligator bait. And then they talk about what's going on in Gaza, when they did 1,000 times worse. What's going on in Gaza now is simply just a miniature version of what they did. What they did was far worse than what's going on in Gaza. Gaza's bad. It was genocide. What they did was far worse and much longer. That's the legacy of Christianity. Murder, rape, disease. They wiped out the native population. The genocide and disease. Smallpox blankets. Knowing there was full of disease. Herpes, syphilis. Gonorrhea from seabird animals. Well, common cold was not common. It didn't exist here on this side of the world until they brought it here. Murder, rape. When it was raping out women, they had a cross hanging from their neck. And again, they taught that there was God's will. God's will. Enslavement of our people. And they continue on even today. That's the legacy of Christianity, the cross. So where's your rap sheet? What are you trying to arrest our people? Your rap sheet? What's your rap sheet? Are you going to judge people murder when you're guilty of murder beyond imagination for hundreds of years? Hundreds of years. Theft. You stole his land. You murdered his people. And you crushed the native people here. When the Braves would go out hunting, you would come into the camps like cowards and kill women and snatch the children's brains out on the hooves of your horses. This is the legacy of Christianity. That's the legacy of it. The question is, instead of Columbus coming here, Dracula came here, Beelzebub, Wolfman, Frankenstein, Satan, they all came instead of Columbus. What could they have done that Columbus and those that followed him did? Satan is the God of this world. That's the God they're serving. They have no by their works. What are the works of Christianity? What are the works of Christianity? What are the works of Christianity? Evil, deception, mischief, bloodshedding. It goes on today. What's going on in Gaza, just reflection and microcosm of what was done here in America for hundreds of years. Raped our women incessantly. They would even rape while they was out in the fields picking cotton. They would jump off their horse and tell them to bend over and rape them. They told them to keep picking cotton while they was doing it. This is the kind of stuff they would do. Make one slave defecate and slave and sit and slave up in the mouth of another slave, and then bound it up so they could spit it out for 7 days. That's a legacy of slavery. You did it all in the name of Jesus. There's a legacy of slavery. Legacy of slavery. 40 years plus. Legacy of Christianity. Legacy of the cross. That's the legacy. That's the true legacy. So whose works are those? Who are you serving? Who are you serving? Legacy of the cross. What's your rap sheet? America? Gog? What's your rap sheet? Magog? Britain? What's your mention? What's your rap sheet? Antichrist, false Israel, Slave sheep. Then they colonized Africa. They still the ripping of everyone. The legacy of Christianity. They've been ruling for over 500 years. And now, the threat of nuclear war. They finish off everything. That's a legacy of Christianity in the name of your Jesus.
How's we gonna make it? Sure you ain't talking about us packing our bags and going westward or going out there in the land. Ain't no cities, no towns, no infrastructure out there. Sure you ain't talking about that, are you? We ain't going back to that. No. Our sweat, our tears, our blood has earned us the right to the land. What God wants you to do is come out of their way. Come out of their pagan holiday. When you should be honoring Jesus, you are buying bunny rabbits. Inviting your children to paint eggs for some Easter. Come out of her. Get the Santa Claus out of your house and a tree. That is the way of the pagans. Come out of her. St. Valentine's Day. What the heck is that? Excuse me. Of her name, come out of her religion, come out of her culture, come out of her way of life, come out of her educational system.
People, and they will put up all the shows of Lord. And this should Jesus none of homes. They stood and said, it is a parent. And the old I wanted to return. With
their hands stretched out towards that ship and tied and chained themselves bound together. And when they was put all on this miserable stove, they took their stern that ship that brought them to a strange land, and these strange people who could not speak either one's language. Now they have to live in a strange country. Strange people who had told to them every mile of their native land that they were going to be the West Indies that they were living with. They were going to be the people that were destroyed. They soon discovered that all mischief that they were being brought here. I don't know how we should say anything in the name of Jesus of good for us. When this gift was made of Jesus, this is how that we have always been deceived by the white man. I use Jesus, the name Jesus, to our a mental sleep, thinking that we all are leaving. This is perfect. My brother, this is very hard for us to people to accept today. Imagine our parents standing in front to return to that people and people and you yesterday. Trying to see the best things that brought in subjection to that will. You and I, turning away from your ordinary plan and turning it back towards our prison house and and who have destroyed us and seeks to destroy us. How do you feel? How do you feel? Not wanting to return to your feet. It's trying to make love with the people that destroy you and your parents. Do you feel? Acting such? And even today, there are beating and shooting you all throughout the country. There's no justice here for you and me. Why did not do what can be separated and be returned to the Lord? I think that question. They go to your parents on the Easter show crying and praying to God to be returned to that arms 400 years ago. Now, you like to see them rise up in the judgment, condemned for being such fools. And now, to live in the land that absolutely enslaved them and killed them and beat them for 300 long years here. They would condemn you as fools. When I wanted to be separated, go to your arm, salvation for your son. The white man said you opened. Remember that. gonna make it. Sure, you ain't talking about us packing our bags and going westward or going out there in the land. Ain't no cities, no towns, no infrastructure out there. Sure, you ain't talking about that, are you? No. We ain't going back to Africa. No. This is your land. Our sweat, our tears, our blood has earned us the right to the land. What God wants you to do is come out of their way. Come out of their pagan holidays. When you should be honoring Jesus, you are buying bunny rackets and inviting your children to paint eggs for some Easter. Come out of her. Get the Santa Claus of your house and trees. That is the way of the pagans. Come out of her. St. Valentine's Day. What is that? Excuse me. Come out of her name. Come out of her religion. Come out of her culture. Come out of her way of life. Come out of her educational system.
People. And they will put up all the shows of North and they should. Jesus, done all things for our parents' good. They stood and said, it is a parent. And behold, wisdom. I wanted to return. With that hand stretched out towards that ship, and the tide and chain themselves bound together. And they must put on this memorable shows. They took their stand, that ship that brought them to a strange land, and these strange people who could not speak either one's language. Now they have to live in a strange country. Strange people who had proven to them every vow from their native land that they were going to be the West Indies that they were living with. They were going to be the people that were destroyed. They soon discovered that all this ship that they were being brought here. I don't know how we should say anything in the name of Jesus of good for us. But this ship was named Jesus. This is how that we have always been deceived by. I use Jesus, the name Jesus, to our a mental sickness, thinking that we all have to leave it. This is church. My brothers and sisters, this is very hard for us to people to sit today. Imagine our parents standing in front to return to that native land and people and you in today. Trying to save the best that brought
in subjection to that will. You know what I know? Cutting away from your ordinary plan, cutting it back towards our critical house and and who have destroyed us and seeks to destroy us. How do you feel? How do you feel? Not wanting to return to your feet. They're trying to make love with the people that destroy you in your past. Do you feel? Active. And even today, there are beating and shooting all throughout the country. That's no justice here. You and me, why did not do what to be separated and be returned to the Lord? I think that was. They go to your parents on the eastern shore of praying and praying to God to be returned to that arm 400 years ago. Are you like to see them rise up in the judgment condemned for being such fools? And now, what to live in the land that absolutely enslaved them and killed them and beat them for 300 long years here. They would condemn you as fools. But I wanted to be separated to your arm and occupation for your son. So what I say to you, remember that.
Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Someone brought him here. That should have come in. Okay, brothers, this has been a year now. And Found him home after 40 years in Arabia. I'm reporting to you from Arabia. Found him home after 40 years. It's been a year now. There was an agreement made for slave master. Said, your choice. Stay here or leave. Right? So we chose our inheritance. Arabia. So we left. If the original people decided they wanted the inheritance and traded for a place in America, affiliation with their former slave master. It's their choice. They chose. We don't want to go to Arabia. We don't go to where sand and all that stuff. We want to stay in America. We've been here all our lives, been here 40 years, born here, right? And we can make peace with a slave master. Okay, so they decided to stay. And so after a year, right, we get reports of how things are going over there. And that sounds too good. How things are going over in America with their reparations. Because they was given 6 states, I believe. Yeah, see? Yeah. They got those 6 states right there. That's what Farrakhan told me. They was following this in Farrakhan. Farrakhan promised them. They stay there, 6 states, right, their own land. And they can make reconciliation with from slave master. They're not devils, not devils. They're human beings. They just had a rough, they were just, there's some things wrong, but now, they're going to make amends and make reparations. So 6 states. And in addition to that, they gave everybody $1 million. Everybody paid $1 million. Thank you, Farrakhan. They're so happy. Thank you, Farrakhan. Thank you, Farrakhan. And you got 6 states. That's what you promised us. We got 6 states. Thank you. Thank you, Farrakhan. And this was a year ago. 6 states. Thank you, Farrakhan. Right? Everybody got $1 million. Everybody $1 million. They're rejoicing. They're so happy. We made it. We got America, man. We got reconciliation for a master. We got 6 states. Everybody got $1 million. We're all rich. That's a year ago. We left. We in Arabia. They still back there in America. Now we're getting reports a year later. This is the way it was a year ago, man. They were so happy. So happy. And now we get reports of what's going on right now. Oops, he says a power failure. Great power failure in those 6 states. Failure. And just those 6 states. So, and now they were big and massive. They came asking to turn the power. Why can't they do it? Oh, Farrakhan didn't train anybody. He was telling about 6 states and never paid for him. So nobody knows how to do it. How to turn the power grid back on. So these big men massive, can you come in and turn this thing back on for us? I mean, you would think that if he told them 6 states of promising that we would have prepared them for, right, their schools and education or whatever they needed. But I guess they didn't, because they said they were really heavy begging just from a master to come and turn the power back on. Then what? This is all that's happening now. I mean, I'm getting these imports in now. A bit later. It's like, I mean, every hour. How good failure, right? It's a crop failure. All of a sudden, there's no. You look at the farmers when they're doing farmers say, oh. So then, master, what's happening here? How come no? Right? Crap. Found out that the rain they gave them wasn't that fertile. Even later, how's it going? So, and now so what's going to happen here? Right? Then, I mean, all these things, every hour that's coming in, right? And then they look here and they had, a year ago, they had plenty of food on the shelves, right? Now, they look there now and all the food's gone. It's gone. And she said, what am I going to do here? Food's gone. The house is empty. So I said, Master, we need some food. You can't put your own food. I mean, you want your own country. You got your own states. That's your country. And you run it. What are you calling us for? So they're praying. And then, oops, no fuel. But there's no fuel there. Well, you got to buy your fuel. You got to produce your own fuel. What you calling us for? You got your own 6 states now. What you calling us for? Go and get some fuel. You got money. Right? You got your own states. So you got to get your own. What you calling us for? You said you wanted your own, so now you got it. You got your reparations, so we don't owe you anything anymore. We don't owe you anything anymore, so what you calling us for? We don't owe you anything. You said you agreed to 6 states and $1 million per person. You took that instead of the inheritance, what you call Abrahamic covenant, Arabian. Your brothers and sisters, they left, they took that was all for them, they took it. And you said, no, I want this instead. So now you got it. So what you calling us for? Oh, no communications. Oh, man. No communications, right? No medical facilities. So what's going on? And I said, wait a minute, hold on here. What you calling us for? That's you. You gotta handle that stuff. You want us to handle it for you? You want independence, now you have it. I mean, wow, this stuff's coming every hour, man. Instead of like a year, they were celebrating. And now they're crying, begging the master of the game. We got all these problems here. I said, wait a minute, that's your solution. Comes about your problems. You have to work those out. No transportation, I mean, no planes on nowhere. I fly a plane and drive trucks and boats and stuff, and you go and get this stuff. What you got this for? You wanted this, you got it. So go ahead and get to train your own pilots, build your own planes, build your own boats, and right? You see what I'm saying? Transportation, build your own trucks. What you got for? The master, you said you wanted 6 states, you got it. You want $1 million per person. That was the reparations. So that if you never pay people to take care of this, how's that our problem? You're independent now. You're really free now. Oops, no fuel, the gas station's empty. I can't drive, man. Yes. Yes, wow. All this stuff happened like, well, yeah, everything was great, and all of a sudden everything ran out. So guess what happened? Everything was good when they got it, and it ran out. They had to replace it, the fuel, to get the farms going. So it was left with that stuff. The factory was full, houses full, and you had to keep they thought that was just gonna, I guess they thought it was just gonna be there, just by itself. They didn't prepare for it. See? And they ain't trained any engineers and scientists and architects and stuff. They ain't, you know, they didn't train anybody. So Farrakhan's, he told you he don't get this for you, but he'll pay you for it. He didn't get anybody to handle this stuff. So what was that all about? So when they asked the master, hey, don't call on me. You was here, you had it when you was here with me. You said you want independence, you want to have reparations, so you gave it to you. Well, call your brothers over there. They left, they handled their own business. You said you want to stay here. Right? Have any professionals or technicians, scientists, doctors, none of that. See, I mean, that's what, you know, because I mean, you know, say, he should be paying for that, right? So if he was talking about reparation, he should be paying for it. If he said, God said that's where he's going to get you, so God told him he's going to get that for you, then he should, like when God told Noah there was a flood coming, told him to build arks, he started building an ark. And so you should start preparing for the 6 states, and the reparations, apparently you didn't. So now, it does look, hold it. We want total separation, I mean, Europe. We don't want you to call us no more. We don't want you to call us no more. Because you're wearing us. You want your own country, you got your own land, right? You got money, me and us, everything, all this stuff, right? So now we got to protect your money and everything too? No, you have to create your own money. You have to do all these things, your own wealth, not ours. Right? So we're going to cut you off from that too. That's all economics. So they're going to tell all the people, and you know, all the white folks, right? Because all the black folks, now all the black folks is either in Arabia or in those 6 states. That's the solution. It'd be one way or the other. There could be no integration, that kind of stuff. That's the deal. You said one or the other. So all the black folks are here, and there's no integration, that kind of stuff. Right? Was it one or the other? So they're there. So they said, okay, right? So they just say, we want to take our money because we don't know what y'all do over here. You have your own money here for your own wealth. So they do is they tell all the white folks, say, protect your money. Right? Transfer your money into gold. All your dollars into gold. Now remember, they gave everybody $1 million apiece. So everybody got $1 million apiece, right? Say transfer it to gold. And then what happens is what they do is they start just printing money. Just start printing money. You understand what that means? It's inflation. Because if you got $1 million of gold, a million ounces of gold, say $1 million ounces of gold, understand this, and you got 1 million certificates, then you say each certificate is worth 1 ounce. If you got 1 million ounce, each certificate is worth 1 ounce. Understand that? You got 1 million ounces of gold, and you got 1 million certificates. Each one of those certificates is worth 1 million. You know, if you want to say trade with the certificates, each one of the certificates is worth 1 ounce of gold. If you take and print, say you got 1 million ounces of gold, 1 million certificates. Each one, but say you print twice as many certificates, you got 2 million. Well, then each certificate is only worth 50 cents now. Because you got to connect that to the gold. You print 4 times, then each one is worth a quarter. So the more you print, the less they work because those certificates have to equal what the gold is. See, so the more you print money, the less, right? The less they're worth. So if you print twice as much money, right, then less gold. You see? So $1 is worth 1 ounce of gold. That's right. Then if you print double that amount of dollars, then each one's worth half an ounce. You understand? That's printing money without increasing their wealth does. That's inflation. So what happens is, they keep printing. They get down to where $100 worth a penny. See, that doesn't affect their people. They try to protect their money because they transfer their money to gold. So gold still has its value. It's just the dollars don't. Still got the same amount of gold. But the dollars, they get down to a penny. So you can't buy it. You had $1 million, now $1 million worth of $5. That's what it's worth. $1 million. Not worth anything. Otherwise, that's our money. You gotta have your money, you gotta control your wealth. You can't keep coming at us what you're doing. You think they would do that? You've been God's lately. You see what happened to the trees they made, the so-called natives kept telling you to fall time because they kept making trees where then they broke the trees. They took their land and genocide everything else. But no, they wouldn't do that to you. Because now you have your money's worth nothing. They haven't lost anything. Because once that money's worthless, it's no good, right? Then you burn it up, it's all it was, it's worth nothing. You still got gold, and even if they take it, hold on, the money, hope to increase again, they should know the certificate, you know, another form of money. So it's still worth nothing. The $1 million you had, you was unhappy with now, it's probably worth $1 million. You can't buy anything $1. Plus the economy's collapse because everything is selling and you don't know how to repair it. You don't have to create medications, you don't have to do any of this stuff. Engineer, but how should I do anything? Because it's our company. He didn't know how to prepare you. He told you to give 6 days. He told you, this many. Okay? Now, you're broke. The economy's gone. No food, no electricity, no power, anything. It's not their fault. They gave you what you asked for. That you saw at your heavens for that. And then they closed the border. Because you're going to try to get back into America now. We want to come back in, Master. No, we don't want you back in here. We saw we want to come in. No. If you chose, you stay there. Close the border so you can't get back in here. You get back in there into what you call your land now. Swaziland or something? Farrakhan. You call it Farrakhan. Farrakhan. You got the Farrakhan. Right? So they close the borders, you can't. Because now you're hungry and everything else, your money's worthless. Oh God, I come back, man. I come back, work for you, I work for Popeyes, I do anything you want. No, either they were in Arabia or they in that land. There are no blacks in America any places, just in that land, and those that you 6 days. And then you're starving, you ain't got no money's worthless, nothing works, and they close the border. And you see that's anything on the phone, talking to the guy you get paid to help you. Finally got rid of them. Finally got rid of them. You see on the phone, yeah, it worked. You saw them in Revelation, you saw them that was a used car. You turned the miles back and everything else, and they bought it. They could have had a BMW, they could have had a Lamborghini, they sold it for BMW. Good, damn thing didn't work. Now, it's starving. Living in tents. Praying. So what? What we gonna do, Farrakhan? What we gonna do, Farrakhan? You told us to take reparations, so we did. But they gave us everything we asked for. What we gonna do, Farrakhan? What we gonna do? Pray. That's his answer. Pray. That's your reparations. Like Elijah Muhammad said, get a big picture. Leaving, the black staying on the shore, the one stay behind, that was whooping their ass. But they thought you think they would give you some land, take care of you? They didn't want to do that. Give everybody $1 million, you know what it is? 17 million, that would be 17 million times, 17 million times a million is like $17 trillion, I think, something like that. What are they going to do that for you? They want to get rid of you. So now they have to see it. Because they close the border, and what you going to do? When you want to fight to come out? They close the border. They got the military around there. They finally got rid of you. The more black problem, the more Negro problem anymore. Who's out of here? And those groups that's here, they're gone. And I have to clean. And get what they wanted. Or anything. God honors contracts. Remember he honored the contract with Jacob. He sold his birthright for a bowl of soup. Jacob, it was Esau's inheritance, and God honored it. Okay, Jacob, it's yours. You're the one. And that's the deal. Because he ain't your friend. America ain't your friend. Pray, pray, pray. That's the answer. It's homeland you was promised, you never rejected it. So now you got what you're here for. So they gave you reparations today or tomorrow. How that scenario would not play out like that? What they say, okay, you got it. Tell me how the scenario wouldn't play out like that. And tell me why they wouldn't do it. There'll be so much they can say, okay, we're going to take care of them. And I say, why did they take care of you when you was right here? He was working at Popeyes and then they get up on Section 8 stuff right here with they. Because you know they're trying to get rid of stuff right now. Trump's trying to get all that stuff right now. Because they're closing on you don't realize it. Anyway, that's just, that's what's happening over in America. Wow. Of course, coming there. It's a disaster over there. I just got a call. Oh, really? You serious? Our ambassador just got a call from I don't know what they call it Conland or something. I forgot what it's something called right there. That 16. They begged us to come and help. Can they come over here? Can we come and get them? Really? Can we come and get them? Bring them? Oh no! And he even asked there's Master Fard Muhammad right there. He said, hell no. We ain't going to get them. I agree with that. Yeah, the Master said he's called him and he passed the word to Master Fard Muhammad. Master Muhammad said, send him back. Listen, no, we can't come and get you. You chose, you made your choice. Live with it. But die whatever the situation is. Wow. I can't do that. They actually sent a message over. Well, they did have any communication, but somehow they got the information over to him and said, would we please come and get him? Nope. Nope, tell them no. And don't waste time communicating us anymore. You got your land, you got your reputation, you got your money, you got Farrakhan's you here. Yeah, I know. Talk to them. Let them straighten out for you. You want to sell you the idea, you just sell them. So you want an idea of reparations? We told you. Suleiman Bay, he was a message to you, telling you, look, man, let's go home. You said no. You chose not to. Okay, well, since that's a side story. Guess that's it. That it. Oh, they might get more reports. Okay, he says that was a Nancy Muhammad's final decision, and they closed communications off. And so that's it, brothers and sisters. Got those ballots that came in. All that came in today. I mean, I came in fast. Here. Total collapse. They're begging it. Somebody help me. We can't do it. And that's okay. We won't do it. That's not what we do. Update, brothers and sisters, got another late report in. They said, well, if you won't come and get us food, we at least send some food. They begged him, please send some food. So I'm saying, I'm going to send them a damn thing, nothing, zero. I said, please just send some food. This guy that in. He says, can you come and get it? Please send some food. He says, no. I said, I just got information from the ambassador. He said that, and he's made to me. He says, no. He said, please, just please send some food. He said, no, go away. You made your choice. Case closed. This guy that in, bro. It's just, that's not like him.